grabbed his cash and fled the scene. Fortunately, the victim survived, although he spent some time at St. Barnabas Hospital, but the suspect is still on the loose. Anyone who knows anything about this is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 800-577-TIPS. Police are asking for help finding the person who tried to rape a teenager 2 weeks ago on the east side of Manhattan.
The NYPD telling us this 13-year-old girl was walking alone, and this was 3:40 in the morning on Wednesday, August the 28th. And suddenly a man wearing a Scarface T-shirt and carrying some type of beverage in a paper bag dropped the bag and then attacked, trying to rape the teen before he ran north uptown on 3rd Avenue from here at 29th Street. Now, as for the girl, she had to go to Bellevue to be treated, stayed overnight in stable condition, and then was finally sent home. Now, the picture of the suspect, we'll put it up at 1010wins.com, as cops in the Special Victims Unit are hoping some public tips can help them get this man off the street. Glenn Schuck, 1010 Wins, 92.3 FM, here in Kips Bay.
The NYPD has 3 teenagers in custody in yesterday's double shooting in the Rosedale section of Queens. Charges against them are still pending. Police say a 75-year-old man was riding a bike on 243rd Street and Weller Avenue when the shots rang out, hitting him in the jaw and hitting a 14-year-old girl in the leg. Fortunately, they're both expected to survive. Police say the man on the bike was not the target of the shooting. It's not clear yet if the same is true for the 14-year-old. Wins News Time, 11:05. The City Council Health Committee is holding a hearing this morning on the state of animal rescue here in the 5 boroughs. Committee Chair Lynn Schulman tells 1010 Wins that it comes in the wake of an alarming number of pet abandonments during the pandemic.
In 2018, about 700 dogs were adopted from ACC shelters per quarter. And in 2020, that number dropped to 180 dogs per quarter.
Schulman says the issue has only been made worse by the high cost of veterinary care and the closure of many spay and neuter clinics. A big honor in Brooklyn today for a fallen New York City police officer. As of this morning, PS 54 on Sanford Street in Bed-Stuy will officially be known as the Detective Rafael Ramos School. Ramos and his partner, Wenjin Liu, were sitting in their patrol car 10 years ago when they were shot and killed in an ambush. At the time, they had been the first 2 officers killed in the line of duty in nearly 3 years. Aircraft assembly workers have walked off the job at Boeing factories near Seattle and elsewhere in Washington state after union members voted to reject a tentative contract that would have increased wages by 25% over 4 years. John Holden, the Seattle president of the Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers, made the announcement last night, shortly after midnight Pacific time.
This is about respect. This is about addressing the past. And this is about fighting for our future. Our members rejected the contract by 94.6%.
The strike won't affect any commercial flights, but is expected to shut down production of Boeing's top-selling airliner, the 737 MAX. The company says it's ready to get back to the bargaining table, adding it remains committed to resetting its relationship with employees and their union. And speaking of planes, if you don't like paying high gas prices to fill up your car, you definitely wouldn't want to cover the fuel bill for an airliner. But it turns out that's exactly what happened to a 33-year-old man from Australia who was arrested last year after being disruptive on a flight from Perth to Sydney. He caused the flight to turn around at 30,000 feet and head back to the airport. To make the unexpected landing, the pilot had to dump the rest of the fuel in the tank. So at his court proceedings this week, the man was fined an extra $5,600 to pay back the airline. Well, we've got sunny skies right now. It's going to be a pleasant day today, mostly sunny and warm with a high of 82. It's clear tonight. We might see some patchy fog late. We get to a low of 65 in the city. But the former hurricane Francine has now just been downgraded to a post-tropical cyclone as it heads out to the Atlantic. But Francine's remnants might still cause some flooding in several states down south. And that's not the only big storm threatening the area.
Francine is the 6th hurricane to strike Louisiana in the past 5 years. In New Orleans, it was deja vu for Anthony Boykovich.
There was a lot of street flooding, but thankfully my house still had power. It never went off.
Now forecasters are watching a tropical depression in the middle of the Atlantic. It's on the brink of becoming Tropical Storm Gordon.
That's correspondent Jim Ryan. As many as 8 inches of rain is expected this weekend in parts of Alabama, and between 2 and 4 inches could fall in Mississippi, Tennessee, Georgia, and Florida. Wins News Time, 11:09.
Hey parents, it's Instacart here to say that this season we've got your back to school. As in, we've got your back to school supplies, backpacks, binders, you name it. And we've got your back. Like when your kid tells you they need glue sticks and a poster board for tomorrow, which makes you think, who raised you? And then you think, yikes, right, me. And then you go, it's all good because Instacart has my back to school. Download the app to get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes and a $0 delivery fee on your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
You've heard us talk a lot about FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Well, we have something a little different for you. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then, with a YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime. Just visit FanDuel.com/stream to download America's #1 sportsbook. 21 plus, present in Ohio. Opt-in required. Wagers applied. Bonuses awarded as non-withdrawable bonus bets or profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including bonus expiration. See terms and conditions at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Find your fabulous fall fun in Indiana. Hike through scenic trails of vibrant fall foliage. Savor fall flavors with apple picking, pumpkin patches, and tasty treats. Celebrate at festivals filled with the best traditions of the season. Your fabulous fall adventure starts at inindiana.com/fall.
Anxious about going to the dentist? Smile Generation is here to help you overcome dental anxiety and replace with confidence. Confident that you'll be able to find a dentist nearby you can really trust. Confidence you'll be able to afford treatment. Confidence that the time it takes to brush, floss, eat healthy, and go for regular dental exams is worth it. Visit SmileGeneration.com today for a healthier you from to up with confidence unleashed.
Hey parents, Instacart here. And this season, we've got your back to school. As in, we've got your back when your kid derails your grocery trip the weekend before school starts because they have nothing to wear and hate everything in their closet and ankle socks aren't cool anymore, Mom. But it's all good because through Instacart, you can order all the groceries and school lunch stuff you need from the comfort of your ankle socks. Home. Download the app to get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes and a $0 delivery fee on your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. As a business owner, it's your job to anticipate constant market changes. But what do you do in the event of a divorce? Years of hard work building a business are on the line. This is not business as usual. You need an experienced partner you can count on for help. We're Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Ohio or Kentucky attorneys. 513-823-2020. Office in Florence, Kentucky. 201 East 5th Street, Suite 1310, Cincinnati, Ohio 45202. Rick Julius. Licensed in Pennsylvania only.
Wins News Time, 11:11. Traffic and transit on the ones, and Karen Stewart.
In Queens, I come with good tidings. The westbound Jackie Robinson Parkway has been cleared of that misplaced tractor-trailer at exit 4. It's a good thing, too. The delays were pretty gnarly. They were deep inside the Kew Gardens interchange. Very, very heavy. It did back up the eastbound Grand Central and the southbound Van Wyck for a while getting into Kew Gardens with all that volume trying to go westbound on the Jackie Robinson. We still have a little bit of a delay on the eastbound side traveling into Metropolitan Avenue residuals, and the westbound residual delays back to Kew Gardens should start to ease out pretty nicely and pretty quickly for us, she said on a positive note. Checking what we see on Long Island's Big 3. Construction, not on the northern state though, that looks great. But on the southern state westbound, we've got it between exit 35 and 32. The roadwork has the right lane down till 3. The westbound LIE at Glen Cove Road at exit 39, that's got repair work too with 1 lane blocked. The delays are moderate into the area there, and all 3 of the Big 3 look good traveling out into the Queens line. LIRR in good shape, just the Ronkonkoma branch with buses replacing trains between Ronkonkoma and Greenport for track replacement. It's a project that continues through mid-November, and we've got northbound A train delays too out into Howard Beach and JFK Airport because of a train that had its brake activated there. Traffic is sponsored by Bronx's only Honda dealer, Bronx Honda on East Tremont. Go electric with all new Honda Prologue at Bronx Honda. You could qualify for up to $7,500 EV credit. Visit 2541 East Tremont or BronxHonda.com and take advantage of this incredible offer. The future is now. I'm Karen Stewart, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
And let's get a check of this 1010 Winds AccuWeather forecast. And here's Carrie Schwindenhammer.
Overall, a beautiful day. Dew point's not all that bad. Lots of sunshine overhead. We'll get up to a high of 82 this afternoon. Clear skies for the most part tonight. However, some areas of fog will develop later on, the low 65, down into the 50s, though, in some of the suburbs. After that, fog burns off tomorrow morning, mostly sunny once again. A nice afternoon with a high of 82. The dry weather continues Sunday and into Monday. Sunshine mixing with just a few clouds on Sunday with a high of 80. Then more sun than clouds on Monday with a high of 78. Right now, 74 and sunny in Central Park. Humidity 61%. And the wind northeast at 5 miles an hour. 74 going up to 82 in Midtown. I'm AccuWeather's Kerry Schwendidhammer on New York's weather station. 1010 winds on 92.3 FM.
Winds News Time, 11:13.
Ohio football fans, with BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you'll get your stake back in cash. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. 21 plus and present in Ohio. Subject to eligibility requirements. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with MGM Northfield Park.
Suicide is something that affects us and all play a part in saving lives. Make a difference in your community by walking out of the darkness with us on Sunday, October 20th at Sawyer Point Park in Cincinnati, Ohio. Help spread awareness and understanding. Help is available and raise funds for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Register today at afsc.org/Cincinnati.
La 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 la.
Oops. Ever had your singing lessons cut short by icy water?
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Say goodbye to those cold notes with Navien tankless water heaters. With Navien, you'll hit all the right notes without the surprise chill. So keep singing and let Navien keep the hot water flowing. And get ready for the encore when you get your utility bill.
La, 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 la.
Navien tankless water heaters. Visit tanklessmadesimple.com.
There's 29 seconds left in the half, and Jeff needs to make a game-time decision, folks. Will he get hangry in the second half? Boo! Or get Sticky Wings Layer Dip and Icy Bevs delivered through Instacart? The crowd cheers! Let's go! He's going for it, folks. He's hitting checkout and touchdown! Will he get next point with delivery in as fast as 30 minutes? Yes! The crowd goes wild! Woo! $0 delivery fees on your first 3 grocery orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Other fees and terms apply.
Winds News Time, 11:15. Well, you can't get more French than the latest guest star on the Netflix series Emily in Paris. France's First Lady, Brigitte Macron, turned up as herself in an episode that premiered yesterday and had this encounter with Emily.
Je suis Emily Cooper. Vous follow moi dans l'Instagram Emily in Paris?
Emily, c'est vous? Je la suis sur Instagram.
Oui, oui. Oh, yes. J'adore your country.
Lily Collins, who plays Emily, says Mrs. Macron is a big fan of the show and has said a few years ago she would love to do a cameo. Collins said the two ended up having a great time together on set, adding it was an honor to work with her. A study that explores the feasibility of using pigeons to guide missiles and another one that looks at the swimming abilities of dead fish were among the studies that were winners at this year's Ig Nobels, the prize for comical scientific achievement. They're held less than a month before the actual Nobel Prizes are announced. The 34th annual Ig Nobel Prize ceremony at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology is organized every year by the Annals of Improbable Research magazine's website to make people laugh, but also to make them think. This year's winners received a transparent box containing historic items related to Murphy's Law and a nearly worthless $10 trillion bill from Zimbabwe. The WNBA's biggest star is showing that she can sell basketballs even faster than she dishes them out on the court.
Clark answers, and that is the first triple of the game.
40 minutes after they went on sale, Fever rookie Caitlin Clark's signature basketball from Wilson sold out. Sports Business Journal estimates the number of balls available was in the tens of thousands. Retail price between $25 and $100 each. Now they're selling on eBay for as much as $200. Clark's points and assists per contest lead all rookies this season. With 3 games remaining, Indiana has already clinched a playoff spot. Deborah Rodriguez for 1010 Wins.
30 days of TV starting at
Well, if you're a fan of Latin cuisine, Pier 76 in Hudson River Park is the place to be over the next 2 days. That's where you can experience this year's New York Latin Food Fest, offering more than 300 dishes from dozens of vendors, including Empanada Lady, Mia's Cocina, and Tacos El Guerrero. And that's not all. The festival will also feature art installations, plus a number of musical performances, both today and tomorrow. And proceeds from the event will go to support the Street Eats Foundation.
You hear the cops finally busted Madame Marie.
Well, you can expect some pretty big crowds, as usual, this weekend at the See Here Now Festival in Bruce Springsteen's honorary hometown, Asbury Park, but especially on Sunday, when Bruce himself is the headliner. Other big-name acts making appearances include 311, Kool and the Gang, the Trey Anastasio Band, the Black Crowes, Norah Jones, and the Gaslight Anthem. If you're headed down, you'll of course want to give yourself some extra time because of the always difficult parking situation there. Asbury Park's deputy mayor is also reminding folks the See Here Now Festival is a family event and they'll be cracking down on smoking, tobacco, or otherwise. The list of GameStop stores still open around the U.S. is about to get smaller.
Gone are the days of going to a store to get your video games. Now they're downloaded by most gamers. And thus, GameStop will be closing more of its remaining 4,000 brick-and-mortar stores. In 2021, GameStop found itself at the center of a battle between small retail investors and big companies investing on behalf of big clients. Its stock price soared, but then fell again. They tried again earlier this year to revive the excitement in GameStop, but it wasn't to be. The company's shares dropped 15% when poor earnings were announced this week.
That's correspondent Sherry Preston. Because the news is always changing. Check back with us at 1010 Wins 2, 3, 4 times a day and stay connected.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good morning, 72 degrees. We've got sunny skies in Manhattan at 11:20. I'm Linda Lopez, and here's what's happening. City Schools Chancellor David Banks telling reporters today he, quote, always lived his life with integrity, after acknowledging his cell phones were seized by the FBI in a raid on his home. Justin Timberlake is back in court today, where he's expected to plead guilty to a lesser charge in his Hamptons drunk driving case. Police are searching for the suspects in 2 separate attacks this week on the subways. Threats have caused the closures of 3 schools in Springfield, Ohio, after Springfield became the center of a fiery immigration debate and baseless rumors about pets that were amplified by Donald Trump. And Lil Wayne says he was snubbed for the Super Bowl halftime show. 1010 Wins AccuWeather. Mostly sunny as we go into this afternoon. Pleasantly warm. Humidity not too high. We get to a high temperature of 82 degrees today in the city. Winds News Time, 11:21. Let's get traffic and transit on the ones. Over to Karen Stewart.
At the Hudson River, we'll check first what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. The inbound George is perfect. 5 to 10 minutes for both levels. There is construction on the inbound upper level, but it's not slowing you down at all. Outbound DW Bridge, though, is at the very least 30 to 35 minutes from the Cross Bronx westbound. There are delays on the southbound Deegan to the outbound George. There are delays on the northbound Harlem River Drive to the outbound George. So stick with the Henry Hudson Parkway if you can do it. The outbound DW Bridge construction is on the lower level in the right lane until 2:30. The inbound Lincoln is 10. The inbound Holland is 10. And as far as the Throgs Neck and Whitestone go, the Throgs Neck's in great shape. Across the span both ways, very nice. If you're coming into Queens, there will be some Cross Island Parkway volume southbound. And if you're going into the Bronx, there will be some northbound Bruckner traffic, Bronx and Pelham Parkway, but the bridge itself is perfect and the Clearview approach looks great. Whereas the Queens-bound Whitestone Bridge is very slow, especially on the Bronx side, and northbound into the Bronx, the delays start on the Whitestone Expressway right around 25th Avenue, and on the southbound side, the delays are coming right off the Hutch onto the southbound Whitestone Expressway. Our next report is happening in less than 10 minutes. I'm Karen Stewart, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
New York City Schools Chancellor David Banks just speaking to reporters, acknowledging that the FBI seized his cell phones during one of last week's raids at the home of several top officials in the Adams administration, but also saying
that I'm absolutely not a target in whatever this investigation is about. And so with that, there's not a whole lot more to share. You're certainly advised not to talk much about it.
It was not just his devices, but devices in his home that belonged to his fiancée, First Deputy Mayor Sheena Wright, that were also seized. The subject of the investigation, which is being led by the U.S. Attorney's Office in Manhattan, remains unclear. Well, we expect to find out today in a Long Island courtroom if what goes around comes around for Justin Timberlake.
Timberlake is expected to walk inside the courthouse in Sag Harbor with his attorney and plead guilty. He made a plea deal in his DWI case. On June 18th, the pop star told an officer he only had one martini, but after the 43-year-old failed a field sobriety test and his breath smelled of alcohol, he was arrested for drunk driving. Timberlake's mugshot that went around the world showed bloodshot eyes. Timberlake's attorney had no comment. Timberlake was driving a brand new BMW at the time and claimed he was following friends home. Sophia Hall, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in Suffolk County, Long Island.
Today is arraignment day here in New York City for the longtime leader of Mexico's Sinaloa drug cartel. Our Mac Rosenberg is at the courthouse and has the latest. Mac.
Linda, Ishmael Zambada, he is known as El Mayo. Prosecutors call him one of the world's most notorious and dangerous drug traffickers. He pleaded not guilty to 17 charges, including narcotics trafficking and murder. He is charged in the murder of his nephew. U.S. law enforcement has been after El Mayo now for more than 20 years. He was taken into custody when he landed on a private plane near El Paso, Texas, July 25th. He said in a letter that he was kidnapped in Mexico by the son of another drug lord, El Chapo, and brought to the U.S. The 76-year-old faces a minimum sentence of life in prison. He would be eligible for the death penalty if convicted. Zambada's attorney just left the federal courthouse here in Brooklyn, says he is not contemplating a deal with the government, and he expects this to go to trial. Mac Rosenberg, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM, live at Brooklyn Federal Court.
And the NYPD is searching for the suspects in two separate attacks this week on the subways. In the first one on Monday afternoon, police say three muggers confronted a 14-year-old boy on a 5 train just after it pulled into the Pelham Parkway station in the Bronx. They pushed the teen onto the platform, snatched a chain from around his neck, and made a run for it. Then, 2 days later, two men attacked a 35-year-old man on an A train after an argument at the 104th Street station in Queens, punching him several times in the face before fleeing the scene on foot. All of the suspects in both incidents remain at large. Anyone with any information is asked to call Crime Stoppers, 800-577-TIPS. Wins News Time, 11:26. Time for Bloomberg Money Watch now. And here's Andrew O'Day.
A big of the forecast jump in the University of Michigan's twice-monthly consumer sentiment measure is helping lift Wall Street. Dow up 316, NASDAQ gaining 110, S&P up 30. We're watching stock and Boeing descend 1%. It would be a bigger decline if investors hadn't expected union members to vote the way they did. 96% casting their ballots to strike starting midnight Pacific time today. 33,000 workers off the job after union members rejected Boeing's offer to hike pay 25% over 4 years, but with bonuses eliminated. Dow rising 317. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Andrew O'Day for 1010 Wins on 92.3.
Hey parents, it's Instacart here to say that this season we've got your back to school. As in, we've got your back-to-school supplies, backpacks, binders, you name it. And we've got your back. Like when your kid tells you they need glue sticks and a poster board for tomorrow, which makes you think, who raised you? And then you think, yikes, right, me. And then you go, you know, it's all good because Instacart has my back to school. Download the app to get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes and a $0 delivery fee on your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
Find your fabulous fall fun in Indiana. Hike through scenic trails of vibrant fall foliage. Savor all flavors, apple picking, catches, and tasty treats. Celebrate at festivals filled with the best traditions of the season. Your fabulous fall adventure starts at inindiana.com/fall.
Hey, Chris. Jeez, what happened to your face?
Oh, I broke a tooth and my dentist can't see me for another week.
I'll hook you up. My guy isn't open tomorrow. Just got scheduled.
Tomorrow? Are you the tooth fairy or something?
No, I just use Smile Generation. They connect you with trusted dentists that have availability, even for emergencies. With Base, I'll say that's an emergency.
Visit SmileGeneration.com to find a dentist and restore your smile with confidence unleashed.
Now, this message, approved oil has the lowest rates in the 5 boroughs. Lock in today at Freeze the Rate.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. As a business owner, it's your job to anticipate constant market changes. But what do you do in the event of a divorce? Years of hard work building a business are on the line. This is not business as usual. You need an experienced partner you can count on for help. We're Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Ohio or Kentucky attorneys. 513-823-2020. Office in Florence, Kentucky. 201 East 5th Street, Suite 1310, Cincinnati, Ohio 45202. Rick Julius. Licensed in Pennsylvania only.
Ohio football fans, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you'll get your stake back in cash. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. 21 plus and present in Ohio. Subject to eligibility requirements. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with MGM Northfield Park.
It's 74 degrees and sunny in Manhattan. Good morning. I'm Linda Lopez. Winds News Time, 11:30.
Good morning. I'm Kevin Rincon. We're expecting criminal charges to be filed against Iranian hackers who allegedly gained access to emails and documents from members of former President Trump's campaign. It happened earlier this summer.
The charges would focus on the alleged hack of Trump campaign emails, a hack which the U.S. government has attributed to Iran. Taken as a result of the hack, internal documents used to vet Trump's prospective running mates. Sources say per the standard practice of the Justice Department, any campaign would be notified in advance of the charges as a victim of the crime.
Correspondent Stephen Portnoy, those charges could come as soon as next week. No response from the Trump campaign just yet, and we were told those Iranian hackers also tried to gain access to Kamala Harris's campaign. Winds News Time, 11:31. Check traffic and transit on the ones with Karen Stewart.
Well, this just into the 1010 Winds Traffic Center. The westbound Grand Central Parkway ramp to the Jackie Robinson split is blocked. All lanes. We've got an accident there. Again, the westbound Grand Central ramp to the Jackie Robinson Parkway split has an accident with all lanes blocked there. Keep it locked to 1010 Winds. Traffic and transit every 10 minutes on the ones. We will keep you updated. You might want to jump on the westbound LIE instead here. If you're traveling in Brooklyn, the outbound Gowanus could see delays between 21 and 20. We've got construction between those two exits. The right lane is blocked. Now, as we check things over on Long Island, we've got the Northern State in very good shape, but that LIE repair work westbound of Glen Cove Road is there. It's at exit 39, Glen Cove Road, of course. One lane is blocked. And on the LA to Village Ronkonkoma branch, we're free of that rail replacement today, where the buses were replacing trains between Ronkonkoma and Greenport. It only goes on Mondays through Thursdays, so that's not going to be a problem for you today on the Ronkonkoma branch. It's a project that goes on until mid-November, but again, Fridays are exempt. And on the subways, northbound A trains are running with delays due to problems at Howard Beach, JFK Airport. We're sponsored by Mazda Y Plains. Looking for a new car? Check out the new Mazda Y Plains in Elmsford with great deals on over 500 vehicles in stock. They'll have one perfect for you, located right off exit 4 on 287 or at MazdaYPlains.com. I'm Karen Stewart, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
1010 Winds, AccuWeather forecast, meteorologist Carrie Schwindenhammer.
It's a beautiful day outside. Dew point's not all that bad, and lots of sunshine to go around. We'll get up to a high of 82 this afternoon, and even tonight looking at clear skies. However, some fog could develop later on and last into tomorrow morning. Our low tonight about 65 in the city, 50s in the suburbs. Sunshine returns for the afternoon after that fog burns off. Another nice day tomorrow with a high of 82. Pleasant weather continues on Sunday with sunshine much of the time, the high 80, and we stay dry on Monday. More sun than clouds with a high of 78. There is an increasing chance for some wet weather as we head into the middle part of next week. 74 and sunny in Central Park, humidity 61%, and the wind from the northeast at 5 miles an hour. 74, headed up to 82 in Midtown. I'm AccuWeather's Carrie Schwindenhammer on New York's weather station, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
Winds News Time, 11:33. In the race to the White House, both candidates on the campaign trail today. Former President Trump, he's out west. He'll make stops near L.A., Northern California, and in Las Vegas. The latter especially important, the largest city in a swing state of Nevada. Vice President Kamala Harris, for her part, spending time in Pennsylvania. Two more stops after two stops yesterday in North Carolina. Another swing state will be making two stops today. Harris touted her debate performance at those rallies. Her campaign says she raised $47 million in the 24 hours after the debate. Former President Trump has already said there won't be a third. Well, there has been a lot of political news each and every day, and poll says a lot of folks are starting to get fatigued when it comes to election.
About half of Americans in the new poll say they're following political news extremely or very closely. But 6 out of 10 people surveyed by the Associated Press and the Nork Center for Public Affairs Research say they need to limit how much information they consume about the government and politics to avoid feeling overloaded or fatigued. Media fatigue isn't a new phenomenon, but it can be especially acute with news related to politics. An AP Nork USA fact poll found that only 50% of Americans surveyed felt a need to limit their consumption of information related to crime or overseas conflicts, and only 40% said they'd limit news about the economy and jobs. I'm Donna Warder.
WINS News Time, 11:35. More issues in Springfield, Ohio today. The town has been thrust into the national spotlight over baseless rumors of Haitian migrants, amplified by Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. They've claimed the Haitian migrants have been stealing pets and eating them, claims that have been debunked. Several schools were evacuated this morning. Another didn't even open today, based on information the Springfield Police Department got. Unclear what exactly happened, but it comes a day after bomb threats forced the evacuation of the city hall and other town buildings. The mayor telling the New York Times that threats are clearly born out of the hateful response to immigration in the town, saying that politicians are on the national stage lying about what's going on there. It took firefighters 50,000 gallons of water to put out a massive fire in California. A flaming battery of a Tesla electric semi-truck is to blame.
The Tesla Big Rig lithium-ion battery fire happened after a crash a month ago on Interstate 80 near Emigrant Gap, California, says the National Transportation Safety Board. A Tesla employee was driving, not hurt. Firefighters say the fire reached 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Aircraft dropped firefighting chemicals on the area around the truck. The highway was closed for 15 hours for the battery to cool down. The NTSB says after investigating, it'll issue safety recommendations.
Correspondent Chuck Sippin, WINS News Time, 11:36.
Find your fabulous fall fun in Indiana. Hike through trails of vibrant fall foliage. Celebrate at festivals with the best traditions of the season. Your fabulous fall adventure starts at inindiana.com/fall.
Hey man, how's your heart these days?
Great. My dentist says it's looking pretty healthy.
Your who's?
My dentist. She says there's a link between your oral health and your heart health.
Really?
Oh yeah. Apparently, the bacteria in your mouth can affect the health of your heart.
Wow, who knew?
Smile Generation.
Who?
Smile Generation. Visit smilegeneration.com to find a dentist and restore your smile with confidence unleashed. Smilegeneration.com.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is more than just a legal process. It's a life-changing event that can impact your future, finances, and your relationship with your children. You've worked hard to build a life that you're proud of, and you deserve a legal partner who will work just as hard to protect it.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Ohio or Kentucky attorneys. 513-823-2020. Office in Florence, Kentucky. 201 East 5th Street, Suite 1310, Cincinnati, Ohio 45202. Rick Julius. Licensed in Pennsylvania only.
Ohio football fans, with BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you'll get your stake back in cash. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. 21 plus and present in Ohio. Subject to eligibility requirements. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with MGM Northfield Park.
Suicide is something that affects all of us, and we can all play a part in saving lives. Make a difference in your community by walking out of the darkness with us on Sunday, October 20th at Sawyer Point Park in Cincinnati, Ohio. Help spread awareness and understanding. Send a message that help is available, and raise funds for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Register today at afsp.org/Cincinnati.
WINS News Time, 11:38. Time for 1010 WINS Entertainment News. Lil Wayne getting candid about not being chosen for the Super Bowl halftime show. Kendrick Lamar will be headlining instead. Lil Wayne on Instagram says he feels snubbed.
That hurt a lot. You know what I'm talking about? It hurt a whole lot. I blame myself for not being mentally prepared for a letdown and for just automatically mentally putting myself in that position like somebody told me that was my position.
Almost immediately after Lamar was announced, Lil Wayne fans were in an uproar, saying the rapper has a huge legacy. His career started much earlier than Lamar's, and he should have been picked. When Lady Gaga was a student at NYU, some classmates made a Facebook page called Stephanie Camanota. You will never be famous, calling her out by her birth name. Well, now that she's an Oscar, Grammy, and Golden Globe winning artist, Lady Gaga reflecting in a comment on a TikTok video mentioning the group, saying, quote, "This is why you can't give up when people doubt you or put you down. You got to keep going." Lady Gaga next appears in Joker 2, hitting theaters next month.
Entertainment on 1010 Wins is sponsored by Shulman & Hill, New York's injury lawyers.
Go to hurtny.com.
That's hurtny.com.
You know. Wow, honey, have you seen the electric bill?
Yeah, it's out of control. But have you heard of Navien tankless water heaters?
Tankless? How does that even work?
Well, instead of constantly heating and storing water, it only heats water when we need it. So much more efficient than our giant tank heater.
That sounds great. Let's look into Navien.
Already on it.
Imagine all the hot water you need only when you need it. Bulky tanks are history. Navien high-efficiency tankless is the future. Compact, wall-hung units free up floor space, lower energy bills, longer life than tanks, and a 15-year warranty. Find out more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
As a Ford owner, there are lots of choices of where to get your vehicle serviced. You could choose to go to their place, the local dealership, your place, home, apartment, or condo, your workplace, even your happy place, like your cottage on the lake. Go to your Ford dealer or choose Ford Pickup and Delivery to have your vehicle picked up, serviced, and brought right back. Or choose mobile service, where a technician will come to you and do routine maintenance right on the spot. Both are complimentary and depend on your location. That's ownership built around you. Contact your participating dealer or visit FordService.com for important details and limitations.
Download the free Odyssey app. 1010 Wins a favorite.
The Newswatch never stops. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good morning, 74 degrees with sunshine at 11:40. I'm Kevin Rincon. Here's what's happening. Schools Chancellor David Banks maintains he did nothing wrong a week after the FBI raided his home and his fiance's phone, took the phone of both of them. She serves as deputy mayor. A 13-year-old girl fought off a man. Cops say tried to rape her on the Manhattan's east side. They need help tracking down that suspect. An escaped inmate who led cops on a chase last month through the city was taken to the hospital yesterday for treatment. It didn't go well. Police say he got away again. The war in Gaza has the leader of Hamas thanking the head of Hezbollah for their support in fighting Israel. And a guy down in Arizona who says he blew a lobe out of his nose, a piece he shoved up there some 30 years ago when he was a kid. Right now we're seeing lots of sunshine, just a few clouds around. It's going to be warm this afternoon with a high 82. Wins News Time, 11:41. Traffic and transit on the ones with Karen Stewart.
Well, in Queens, I've come very good tidings on the Grand Central. Well, the westbound Grand Central's not closed anymore, thank goodness. It wasn't closed for that long westbound at the Jackie Robinson Parkway, but it did scare us for a second, that's for sure. That accident that was there on the ramp to the Jackie Robinson Parkway up the westbound Grand Central is cleared, so we're in much better shape there. The westbound Jackie Robinson misplaced tractor trailer long gone from exit 4 at Metropolitan Avenue. And finally, as I checked the jam cams on the Jackie Robinson, the delays have completely broke up. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. The inbound George is 10. The outbound GW Bridge is a half hour from the Cross Bronx. We've also got Deegan delays to the outbound George and Harlem River Drive northbound delays to the outbound George. The inbound Lincoln is 10. The inbound Holland Tunnel is 15 minutes. In New Jersey, Route 1 issues. We got a broken tractor trailer affecting all directions of 21 at Columbus Avenue in Newark. The 3 left lanes are closed. That is all kinds of bad. 3 left lanes closed. We have 15 delay in that area at least. NJ Transit and the Path are running on a schedule. And on Island's pretty good shape. We just have construction on the westbound Del E over Glen Cove Road. Our next trip is in Liston. I'm Karen Stewart, 10 cents on 93 FM.
Wins News Time, 11:43. Schools Chancellor David Banks, just one of several members of the mayor's inner circle who had their homes raided by FBI agents last week. His phone was taken. So was the phone of his fiancée, Deputy Mayor Sheena Wright. Speaking today with reporters, Banks says he's not the target of any investigation and has lived his life with integrity.
But I would just tell anybody who's watching, any New Yorker, to just you got to watch and see how this plays out.
He says the feds took his personal and DOE phone, says he gave it to them, and, quote, there's not a whole lot more that I can share about that. When asked about how students should feel when they see his name or photo as part of these federal investigations, he says it's a lesson in life. Sometimes your name may be associated with something. It doesn't mean that it had anything to do with you at all. There are 3 teenagers in police custody after a double shooting in Queens yesterday. Teenage girl and elderly man were injured in the shooting. It happened at about 4:30 in the afternoon, 241st Street and Weller Avenue, Rosedale. Cops say 2 suspects riding a moped. 75-year-old guy on a bike hit jaw. The 14-year-old girl was shot in the thumb. Police say that was definitely a bystander and not the intended target. No word yet about the girl. Both are expected to survive. So far, charges haven't been filed against the 3 teens, but they are in custody. Cops are still on the hunt for the guy who they say tried to rape a 13-year-old girl on Manhattan's East Side late last month.
Now, police tell me this 13-year-old girl was walking alone, and it was the middle of the night, 3:40 in the morning on a Wednesday, August the 28th. Suddenly, this man wearing a Scarface black T-shirt with the lettering in the front, was also carrying some type of a drink inside of a paper bag, went on the attack, trying to rape the girl. She fought him off, and then the suspect running north uptown on 3rd Avenue and hasn't been seen since. Now, the victim was taken to Bellevue in stable condition and released the next day. Now, the picture of the suspect on our website now, 1010wins.com, as cops from the Special Victims Unit hoping you take a look. They need the public's help with some tips to try to get this man arrested quickly. Glenn Schuck, 1010 Wins, 92.3 FM, 29th and 3rd in Kips Bay.
New surveillance footage is out. Cops are searching for an escaped inmate who fled custody yesterday. Just before noon, 37-year-old Jose Lopez was being treated at Lincoln Hospital in the Bronx. He managed to escape the medical center on foot. As of this morning, he's still out there. Last month, he allegedly led cops on a wild chase through the Bronx before he was arrested on drug charges. You can see photos of the fugitive at 1010wins.com. Anyone with information has to call Crime Stoppers. A special honor today for a fallen NYPD detective killed on the job a decade ago. A school in Bed-Stuy being renamed for Detective Rafael Ramos.
The sign outside PS 54 now reads the Detective Rafael Ramos School. And the hope, said PBA President Patrick Henry at the dedication, is that kids will know his legacy.
Who he was, what he stood for, and how proud he was to wear that uniform.
A uniform that made him and his partner Wen-Jen Liu targets as they sat in their patrol car blocks away from the school 5 days before Christmas 2014. Ramos's widow Maritza now heads a nonprofit in his name that works to bridge the gap between police and community.
Sometimes children, they're scared of cops or, they think that they're bad. But there's so many good police officers, and I hope that with what we do with the schools, that the children will see that.
Marla Diamond, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in Bedford-Stuyvesant.
Ramos's fallen partner previously had a school renamed after him, PS 331 in Dyker Heights, now the Detective Wen-Jen Liu School of Civics and Entrepreneurship. It is the first school in Brooklyn to be named for an Asian American. The city's animal shelters are the subject of a city council hearing today. During the pandemic, pet adoptions surged, but a lot of those animals have since been surrendered, creating a challenge for shelters that just don't have enough room. On top of that, Councilmember Lynn Shulman telling us the high cost of vet care is posing another challenge.
The shelters have been telling us that like 60 to 70% of the animals they get are not spayed or neutered, and that's contributing to the overcrowding. That's contributing to a lot of more animals on the street.
Well, the council will talk about ways to provide low-cost or free neutering services as a way to humanely control the animal shelter population. Wins News Time, 11:48. Some Boeing factories shut down today. Over 30,000 union machinists walked off the job after voting overwhelmingly to strike.
Seattle-based Boeing had laid out an offer that would have raised salaries by 25% over 4 years, but machinist Francis King says that doesn't match the cost of living.
Second, third year, they want to do a 4% gross wage increase. That's inflation. That's what the inflation rate's at.
After the overnight vote, in a statement, the plane maker says it's committed to resetting its relationship with its employees and is ready to resume negotiations. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
The people on strike today, they are behind some of the company's best-selling planes, including the 737 MAX, the 777, and the 767 cargo planes. Most of the factories involved are in Washington state. Another setback for Boeing, whose reputation and finances have been battered by manufacturing problems and multiple federal investigations. Florida has been at the forefront of instituting book bans in this country. Today, a school district is being ordered to put 36 books back into their libraries, books that contain LGBTQ content, part of a settlement in a lawsuit from parents and students against the school board of Nassau County. This is just one of the lawsuits challenging book bans in Florida. Last month, 6 major book publishers and several well-known authors filed a federal lawsuit in Orlando, arguing the law signed by Governor DeSantis violates the First Amendment rights of publishers, authors, and students. Ukraine has been pushing its Western allies to ease restrictions on weapons its military can use in the war against Russia. That'll be the subject of a meeting today at the White House between President Biden and the British Prime Minister, Keir Starmer. For now, it seems unlikely they'll announce any policy changes. That will likely come later. Well, they will talk about it, though. Ukraine's president, he's planning to make his case to President Biden in person.
Volodymyr Zelensky says he'll meet President Biden later this month to present what he's calling a comprehensive victory plan to end the war with Russia. The Ukrainian president says he'll outline his plan at an international peace summit in November, to which Russia will be invited. It comes as he presses Ukraine's allies to allow Kyiv to use Western-supplied long-range missiles to strike inside Russia itself.
Correspondent Vicky Barker, Russian President Putin has said allowing Ukraine to use long-range strikes would mean NATO countries, the U.S. and European countries, are at war with Russia. In the Middle East, the head of Hamas thanking the head of Hezbollah in Lebanon for his support in the ongoing war with Israel. In a letter released by Hezbollah's media office, Hamas's leader, Ayad Sinwar, thanked Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah for his condolences over the killing of a top Hamas official in July. Thanked the Hezbollah chief for what he called the blessed acts of Iran-backed groups since the war started. A day after the Hamas attacks on Israel and Israel's retaliation, Hezbollah began attacking Israeli military posts along the border. Israel struck back, killing more than 500 people in Lebanon since the war began. Strikes from Lebanon have killed dozens in Israel. WINS News Time, 11:51. A check of traffic and transit on the ones with Karen Stewart.
We got a couple of things going on in Jersey. One is on the New Jersey Turnpike's outer roadway, the truck lanes in the northbound direction. At 13A for the airport, we've got one center of 4 lanes blocked there. We've got a broken down car. That's what's doing it to us there. It is the truck lanes. It might be a broken down truck. The camera just sort of skims over this area, so I know something's broken down there. Just can't quite figure out if it's a truck or a car. But whatever it is, it's in the center lane. That we know for sure. Over on Route 21, that's next. Both directions of 21 affected by this, by the way. A broken down tractor trailer at Mount Pleasant Avenue in Newark. 3 left lanes are closed, and we've got delays into that area there. Then we've got road construction on 78 westbound on the locals at the Parkway, so take Route 22 instead. And eastbound 4, you'll see delays at Palisade Avenue in Teaneck. We've got road work blocking a lane there. Not much of a delay, but you'll see it slow down, that's for sure. As we check mass transit, subways. Northbound A trains are still a problem. They're running with delays. MTA moved a train that had its brakes activated at Howard Beach JFK Airport. So these are residuals on the northbound A's. Other than that, we're doing well. LIRR on time. The Ronkonkoma branch not experiencing any track replacement issues today. They halted on Fridays. Our next report's coming up in less than 10. I'm Karen Stewart, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
1010 Wins, AccuWeather forecast, meteorologist Carrie Schwindenhammer.
A good deal of sunshine, maybe a few clouds from time to time this afternoon. Pleasantly warm, getting up to 82 this afternoon. We'll have clear skies early tonight, but some patchy fog develop overnight and last into tomorrow morning. The low 65 degrees, 50s though in the suburbs. Another beautiful day tomorrow with sunshine once again, the high 82. Sunshine Sunday with a nice afternoon, the high 80. Sunshine will mix with a few clouds Monday as it stays dry. We'll get up to 78 degrees. It'll start to turn a little bit wetter as we head toward the middle part of next week. 74 with sunshine overhead, humidity 1%, northeast 5. Again, 74, headed up to 82 in Midtown. I'm Weather's Carrie Schwindenhammer on New York's weather station, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Well, don't shove Legos up your nose. That's something parents often tell their kids when they're playing. A lot of us didn't listen, including an Arizona resident who says he found a piece of a Lego stuck up his nose 3 decades after he put it up there. 32-year-old Andy Norton, who also goes by the name Ben Havoc, shared on Instagram this month that he probably shoved a Lego piece up there when he was about 6. Took a shower recently, blew his nose, and the piece came out. Added that their entire life they had congestion and breathing issues. Now that it's been discovered, well, perhaps that played a part. WINS News Time, 11:54.
Find your fabulous fall fun in Indiana. Hike through trails of vibrant fall foliage.
Celebrate at festivals filled with the best traditions of the season. Your fabulous fall event starts at inindiana.com/fall.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. As a business owner, it's your job to anticipate constant market changes. But what do you do in the event of a divorce? Years of hard work building a business are on the line. This is not business as usual. You need an experienced partner you can count on for help. We're Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Ohio or Kentucky attorneys. 513-823-2020. Office in Florence, Kentucky. 201 East 5th Street, Suite 1310, Cincinnati, Ohio 45202. Rick Julius. Licensed in Pennsylvania only.
Suicide is something that affects all of us, and we can all play a part in saving lives. Make a difference in your community by walking out of the darkness with us on Sunday, October 20th at Sawyer Point Park in Cincinnati, Ohio. Help spread awareness and understanding. Send the message that help is available and raise funds for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Register today at afsp.org/Cincinnati.
As a Ford owner, there are lots of choices of where to get your vehicle serviced. You could choose to go to their place, the local dealership, your place, home, apartment, or condo, your workplace, even your happy place, like your cottage on the lake. Go to your Ford dealer or choose Ford Pickup and Delivery to have your vehicle picked up, serviced, and brought right back. Or choose mobile service, where a technician will come to you and do routine maintenance right on the spot. Both are complimentary and depend on your location. That's ownership built around you. Contact your participating dealer or visit FordService.com for important details and limitations.
Now, Two Pigeons and Coach Prime bemoaning the fact you can stream DirecTV Saturday.
These humans get college football games on DirecTV, and we don't even get a satellite dish.
Enough squawking.
It's Coach Prime.
Bring it in. Sure, they can get all that college football without a dish, but you still got your passion, your drive, your resolve, your
incredible career as a football icon.
No, that's me.
Stream the biggest college football games. No satellite dish. Visit DirecTV.com.
Wins News Time, 11:56. Time for Bloomberg Money Watch with Andrew O'Day.
Americans are feeling better financially, both about now and later. University of Michigan's twice-monthly measure shows the collective U.S. consumer mood up more than forecast, with expectations for inflation down to 2.7% over the next year. That is the lowest since late 2020. Following that, stocks are up, Dow gaining 427, NASDAQ gaining 117, S&P rising 37. Cats are finicky, and not just with food. The Clorox company is dealing with the issue in the litter box. A big cyber attack last year halted production of multiple Clorox products, with shortages forcing cat parents once loyal to Fresh Step and Scoop Away to switch brands. Cats hated that, and now households don't want to go through it again to switch back. Clorox says its litter sales fell 4% over the past year, but it'll try to win the cats back. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 50, 6 past every hour. I'm Andrew O'Day for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspires me.
That's right. Doubling the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to protect against wear deposits. Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic on a microfilter for just $39. In-store only. Limit supply. Learn more at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Okay, how weird does it feel to be called someone's fiancé? The first time you hear it, you do a double take. Your heart kind of flutters. And before you know it, you go from, let's just enjoy this moment, to, we're planning a fall wedding. That's where Zola comes in. Zola has everything you need to plan your wedding in one place and have fun along the way. From free planning tools like a budget tracker and website to a venue and vendor discovery tool that matches you with your dream team, everything on Zola is designed to make your wedding journey as easy as possible. And with invites that can be completely customized in a wedding registry packed with gifts you actually want, Zola takes you from save our date to thanks so much without breaking a sweat. From getting engaged to getting married, Zola has everything you need to plan your wedding in one place. Start planning at Zola.com. That's ZOLA.com.
Are you looking to cash in on every game this season? With Cash the Ticket, we'll try to have you covered and give you the best shot we can. I'm Mike Delaney, and we're breaking down college and pro football with the best betting advice we can provide you. Subscribe to Cash the Ticket now on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
WINS-FM and HD1 New York. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
More people get their news from 1010 Wins than from any other radio station in the nation. Phil Pilato's our service aide, Sarah Milano, our writer, Walter Geis, our senior writer, Justin Schrager at the editor's desk. I'm Kevin Rincon.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM, New York.
Good afternoon. 74 degrees. We've got sunny skies in Manhattan at 12 noon. I'm Linda Lopez, and here's what's happening. City Schools Chancellor David Banks speaking to reporters this morning, saying he's not the target of an investigation, one day after acknowledging his cell phones were seized by the FBI in a raid on his home. State Senator Jessica Ramos is the latest Democrat to announce she's challenging Mayor Adams and running for mayor. Justin Timberlake is back in court today, where he's expected to plead guilty to a lesser charge in his Hamptons drunk driving case. President Biden will host British Prime Minister Keir Starmer at the White House today to discuss Ukraine's request to ease restrictions on the use of weapons that it gets from the U.S. and Britain. And some of your favorite TV characters probably couldn't afford the homes they had on those shows anymore. Well, maybe the guys from Friends.
It was a happy place, filled with love and laughter. But more important, because of rent control, it was a friggin' steal.
1010 Wins AccuWeather. Mostly sunny this afternoon. Just a pleasant day. We get to a high of 82 degrees in the city. Winds News Time, 12:01. Traffic and transit on the ones, and Karen Stewart.
Well, we have a couple of broken down vehicles in New Jersey. One is on the northbound New Jersey Turnpike truck lanes, north of 13A for Newark Liberty. Broken down vehicle in the center lane, you believe it? Can you imagine breaking down the center lane? Talk about cowering down in your seat, right? The next disabled that we've got is a tractor trailer that's just been cleared, actually, on 21 at Mount Pleasant Avenue. We had 3 left lanes blocked with this broken down tractor trailer. They've managed to clear this thing, so watch for residuals on Route 21. And 78 westbound New Jersey local lanes there between Parkway and Vauxhall Road. That's exit 52 to 50. We've got road construction. It's over on the shoulder. There could be a little bit of a delay. There isn't one now, but in case you're worried about it, you can always take Route 22 instead. As we take a check of what we see on Long Island's Big 3, the westbound LIE has construction at Glen Cove Road at exit 39. 1 lane's blocked there. The westbound Southern State has road work with 3 lanes blocked. Oh dear. Until 3 between exit 35 for Wellwood Avenue and exit 32 for Route 110 in Babylon. And the Northern State is in great shape. We've got no problems to tell you about. The LIRR is on time. That weekly construction on the Ronkonkoma branch doesn't take place on Fridays, so we're off the hook there. Traffic is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. Traffic and transit every 10 minutes around the clock. Breaking traffic alerts whenever they happen. I'm Karen Stewart, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Find your fabulous fall fun in Indiana. Hike through scenic trails of vibrant fall foliage. Savor fall flavors with apple picking, pumpkin, and tasty treats. Celebrate festivals with the best traditions of the season. Your fabulous fall adventure starts at inindiana.com/fall.
New York City Schools Chancellor David Banks just speaking to reporters today after last week's raids at the home of several top officials in the Adams administration. Our Julia Papa was there and joins us live.
That's right. The school's chancellor, David Banks, was holding a news conference on all things education. He meets with reporters